Morning. How's it going? Welcome to the fucking yoga company. No, not that kind of yoga. My name is Julia. This is beginning yoga. Whether you're joining me live or at some different time in the space-time continuum, it is October. Woo! And fall has arrived. Nice cool mornings, makes it hard to get up. Has anybody heard, are we gonna do daylight savings? I don't know. I thought there was some miraculous discussion of doing away with it, but that might be too much to hope for. Beginning yoga is a flow, light to medium energy practice designed okay, there's no getting around it. Guys, something's missing from my shirt. Do you want to know why? Because I had it on inside out and backwards. Don't make me laugh. I can't breathe when I laugh. Okay. Holy crap. Hey, this is a slick and professional yoga production. To be fair, at least I didn't go out in public like that. And if I did, somebody, one of you kind, wonderful people, should definitely tell a woman quietly that her shirt is on inside out and backwards. She might have a good reason for it. I mean, you know, maybe she spilled something or the kids spit up on her or something, but I don't have those reasons. Ta-da! The fucking yoga company. Okay. Where am I at now? Oh, light to medium energy flow that we will break down, or we'll probably, like, you know, with a couple of poses, break down so that you can find your healthy alignment and protect your body for you and your yoga. That's all I've got at this point in time because I am just not awake, obviously. And we're going to start in comfortable seated position, whatever that looks like for you. It can be legs extended. Maybe you want to roll a towel or put a blanket under your knees. You can go one leg out, one leg in. This happens to work for me. It's called pleasant seated pose. And it is cross-legged in the sense that, you know, my knees are bent, but I'm not stacking like that. And you can see that that automatically builds and reinforces imbalance in the body. And what we're trying to do in yoga is kind of work our way out of imbalance right? We're all in it. That's just the way it is. Like you can see right now, my left side is super tight, but we're trying to. The practice of yoga is really, in my world, I shouldn't make sweeping generalities. In my world, our practice is really designed to help you work through those imbalances because the body doesn't work efficiently, and then you pay for it up the chain somewhere else or later. So yeah, that's where we're headed. Taking a moment to get as comfortable on the mat as you can. It might not be super comfortable, but that's okay. Comfort is a relative term in yoga. And let's take a scan of the body. I'm listening to Digging Deep today because apparently, without even me knowing it, I need to dig deep. Taking a moment to pull your attention and awareness from the external to the internal. We're going to scan the body, checking in with the state and quality of the physical form. On this fall, autumnal, full moon morning, where are you already experiencing or noticing some tension or tightness? And now we're going to pull our attention and awareness into the state and quality of our thinking. If you are like me and your brain is just not firing on all cylinders, that's okay. Maybe you were up early and your to-do list got started before the sun rose. That's okay. We're going to slide all of those things off to the side and create a nice, clear, open field of thought for the practice. We want to spend our time only on our mats. We're going to move that silence into the attention and awareness of the breath. It has been kind of a rough few days for smoke, but we want to notice the state and quality of our intuitive rhythm of breath without exerting any control. Just notice that automatic breathing. And now we are going to start to invite that breath to get longer and deeper. We want to match the length of inhale to the length of exhale and hold that rhythm. That's our goal throughout the practice. And wherever we are in the length and balance of that breath, let's exhale all the air out of the lungs. We're going to reach down toward the mat. And then connect our sweep of the arms toward the ceiling. So we want to take that reach up. And letting all of that go, we're just going to move with our length and balance of breath. So we're going to go into a lateral extension, and with our next inhale, I'm going to take my left arm up. I'm going to lean to the right, keeping that space open. So shrugging that shoulder down between your ear and your shoulder. I guess I should have finished that sentence. that's how it's going to be today. It's how it is. Buckle up. And we are going to switch. Just working through our repetitions. 2 more in both directions. Oh. So we're going to come on up and take our first forward fold, tracing fingers forward, tucking the chin, rolling through the shoulders. I'm going to grab the block. It's the first thing in the morning. If you don't have one, that's okay. We're resting the body weight on the elbows, and you can touch knees, calves, feet, floor, or block. Relax the feet. So give them a wiggle and release that energy, and then tuck the chin at the bottom of the fold. Unclench your teeth and breathe. I forgot to. Sorry about that. Once again, production value. I forgot my microphone. So when I fold over, you're not going to be able to hear me. All right. So keep breathing there in that forward fold. We're just giving the body a chance to warm up, giving that low back a chance to stretch slowly. So we're going to work some twisting today. And we're going to talk about that and how that, and we're going to work through our torso and upper body and some of the kind of things we do to imagine that we're twisting when we're not really twisting. Let's lengthen the arms as we inhale next and take our sweep up toward the ceiling. Releasing those arms open, little shrug of the shoulders, soften the elbows, tuck the chin, reach back behind the body with the thumbs. Let's take some wrist rolls as we come down and rest those hands next to our hips. Excuse me, bowing the chin forward. Wow, it's going to be day. Taking an ear over to one shoulder. I'm just relaxing into the weight of the head and letting that stretch those strap muscles. Releasing the chin forward and taking another tilt over. Unclench the teeth, wiggle the face. Stay relaxed. We're going to do that one more time in both directions. So just slowly tilting and taking that reach. And again, tilting into the stretch. Releasing the chin forward. Let's trace the fingertips around the front of the body and slowly stack the cervical spine. If you are joining me in pleasant seated pose or you have a knee in, leg out, we're going to switch that direction. Take a little rock side to side. And let's start our inhales again. So reaching on up and taking that stretch. And taking it down. All right, let's come on up to our inhale. We're going to release on down. And what I want you to do is come into a cactus arm, goalpost position. And we are going to start our twist. But what I want you to think about doing is starting the twist from the core, from the center of the belly. We're going to operate in this diagonal. So keeping, in fact, let's just touch the back of our head, because I want you to feel this twist in the core, like a hula hoop, right? That's my hula hoop movement. If you didn't, I don't know, that's wrong. Read my mind. All right, I want you to take the tip of the shoulder blade on the left side. So give the left shoulder a little wiggle. Take that shoulder blade and tuck it into the spine. And now lead with the ribs and go toward the belly button and feel that action of the core. So I can't overextend here. And notice my left elbow is not reaching back into the twist because the twist is originating. I'm going to unwind. Whew, that's some work. With the tip of the shoulder blade traveling down through the obliques and then ending with the energy of the belly. So it's not really about your arm at all. And that's where we are going to be working. The other thing about twisting is you're going to have to exhale into the twist. You can't, well, you can, it's just work to take a breath. You can hear it in my voice. And we're going to do that again. Whew, I'm feeling that in my latissimus dorsi. I'm feeling that up through my back, transverse abdominis. That was my latissimus dorsi, by the way, and the rhomboids. Reach on up. Let's take our forward fold. Tuck in the chin. Whoo! Are you feeling that warm up? I am. Take a little sway side to side. Wiggle the toes. Give me a little roll of the wrists. All right, let's inhale and lengthen through those arms. Walking hands back. Nice big stretch to the ceiling. Releasing it on down. Turn those palms back. Tuck the chin. Let's take our head stretch. Neck stretch. We're not stretching our head. We're stretching our neck. Releasing the chin forward and taking that tilt. And we're going to do that one more time in both directions. We're going to move to hands and knees. And releasing the chin forward, we're going to just slowly stack cervical spine. Whew. All right. I'm going to move my block out to the end of my mat in case I need it. I'm going to grab a quick drink of water. And move to hands and knees. I'm going to pad my knees with a blanket. Got to get warm though, because it's chilly. It's kind of weather that treats my hot flashes kindly. All right. Resting your fists side by side, we're going to take the knees to either side of the hands. I want you to keep your hips stacked 90 degrees over the knees, but we're going to move the arms from 90 degrees out in front of your shoulders, half to a full palm's length. It's a little overextended, but it takes that pressure off of your wrists and lets you soften those elbows. Soften those elbows. Give me that little squish. That means that the muscles are holding your body weight up rather than you resting the entire weight of your body on your wrists. All right, let's work our Chakravarkasana bow. If you haven't been here before, don't worry about it. We're going to walk you through a nice big inhale here. Exhale, release the chin. Take the forearms to the mat, scoop the belly. Now take those hips back and tuck the tailbone for the bow. Wiggle the fingers, roll the wrists. Inhaling, coming on up. If you are not deep in the bow toward the floor, don't worry about it. The other thing is my knees are a little wide, mostly because I have a belly and I have giant thighs. If my knees were narrow, I wouldn't be able to get as deep into this low back stretch as I can. So maybe widen your knees just a skosh. Ain't nothing wrong with the belly, girlfriends. Guys, I can't speak to your belly. I can only speak to the women, the cisgender women in the group who might or may not have had babies. One more time. Tucking the chin, releasing forearms, tuck that tailbone, feel that stretch. And wiggle. If you have littles, this is a great place to get them to sit on your tailbone. You're going to get into that deep stretch. All right, coming on up. We're going to take a lateral extension. So lead with the hip. Look over the opposite shoulder. WTF, lean. And switch. I'm just going to move like that. Kind of extending that lateral stretch that we did while we were seated, working a little deeper into the hips. All right. Give me angry cat tuck. So release the chin, tuck the tailbone, little lean back, staying soft in the elbows. And now we're going to work a twist here. And it's, so remember when we talk about twist, we're talking about the torso, and we're going to work into a modified thread the needle. So if you've seen this position, you've seen people put their arms down and lay on their shoulder and use it as a shoulder stretch. Well, first of all, you don't stretch your shoulder girdle because your shoulder girdle is all tendons and connections. So that's bad. You don't want to stretch your rotator cuff because that's damaged. What it is an upper back stretch, but you can do it without compressing this radial nerve, right? The radial nerve runs down through the shoulder. And this is my ballywick. This is my soapbox because I'm normally impinged there. I'm a side sleeper and I have guns. I'm not a tiny woman. And so my hand goes numb a lot. And that's from this impingement in my radial nerve. So I'm very particular about my thread the needle. We're going to reach up, and we've done this before, I think, in beginning yoga. Reach up, take that stretch. I'm soft in this elbow. Wrap the fingertips around and touch the other shoulder or as close as you can. And now take that twist through the body. Now we can't tilt the shoulder blade in this position because we're holding the body weight up with the rhomboid and the pec, but we can feel that twist in the center of the core using the torso and the core muscles. Goes right up through that opposite side of the latissimus dorsi and warms up the core. And reach out and let's take it down. Let's release for child's pose. So just let the body rest, wiggle the fingers, roll the wrists, make some fists. You want to stretch and work through that supporting right wrist. And we're going to come forward and take the twist in the other direction. So reach up with the right arm. You'll see I'm soft in this elbow. I'm lifted up out of my shoulder. All the weight is in my arm and pec and back. And I'm going to reach around. Take that twist through the core. And one more time. So we reach open to inhale. We're going to take that arm down and release into the fold. Wiggle the fingers, roll the wrists, make some fists. Move those elbows out toward the edge of the mat. And big wiggle. All right, let's come forward. We're going to tuck our toes and take our runner stretch. So soft in the elbows. And press up. I'm going to step to center my weight on the balls of the feet. Big push down with one heel. Remember, stay soft in these elbows. Shrug the shoulders down into the ribs, or up into the ribs in this case, and relax the neck. Let it hang. Let the head hang. And switch. And again. All right, let's glance forward and walk up into an easy forward fold. So that means I want your knees bent. I'm going to find my block. You could put a kitchen stool here or a box, like a tote. I'm soft in the knees. I'm a little forward into the feet, although the full surface of my foot is in contact with the mat. My knees are bent. And I'm just easing through the stretch because we really haven't warmed up our legs. Bend the knees. Scoop on up through the belly. Lift, 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 lift. Big open arm circle here. Let's do that 2 more times. Just because it feels good and it's first thing in the morning. Soften these. Okay, let's take our lateral extension. So I'm going to come on up and take my right arm down. Soften the knees. Remember, keep those hips stacked over the heels. Big reach. And other side. All right, we're going to warm up legs and warm up low back again. So let's take some forward folding chairs. Sink down into the fold. Let's take a big inhale and exhale here, just to stretch that low back. Scoop the belly, trace the fingers up the legs, and take that sweep. Now let's fold. Sit down, relax the body, hang over the legs. Trace those fingers up. We're warming up the legs, warming up the low back. Take a little stretch. One more time. And let's draw on up. All right, so we're going to talk about twists now that we're vertical. And what I want you guys to think about in terms of twists, and I'm going to actually show you my back in terms of this. So what I see most often in even the most experienced yoga people is this idea that the twist, when let's say I'm going to bring my arms out, shrug my shoulders down, and then we twist, they lead with their fingertips. And so what they're doing is not actually twisting the torso, but they're taking the stretch out through the pec and the teres minor, which is not the goal of a twist, right? The twist, the primary function of a twist is to strengthen and stretch the obliques, the muscles of the core. So doesn't rinse your organs. It doesn't detoxify your fucking liver. Just that's all bullshit. It's really about power and stretch, right, in the core. So when we work into a stretch, so let's all get into neutral stance. Roll those shoulders back. Engage the core. So we're active in the core, we're breathing against the diaphragm, and now we're going to twist. It's a lot, and it's a high energy move. Just release these arms out. So I have my arms in a soft bend because I want to take them out of the equation. All right? I'm going to turn away from you so that you can see the lead with my shoulder blade. I'm just moving the blanket so I can stand in the middle of my mat. If you just roll that left shoulder, you can feel the full movement, and then tuck that shoulder blade back. So you're going to engage the shoulder blade down and in to the ribs and spine. And then you're going to lead. You're going to lead with that shoulder blade. I'm going to twist through the obliques. I'm going to twist around, and notice my arm is not going anywhere. And I'll turn sideways so that you can see that. I'm going to turn, my arm is going to stay immobile. It's all about my core. Now, I'm not actually even concentrating on keeping my knees and hips out of it. I'm just rotating the body back. But notice my arm is not way back here because that doesn't do anything for your torso. It really will strain up into your lats and over that delt and in the teres minor, okay? So let's do this. Soften the knees. Give me this engagement of the core. Roll those shoulders back. In fact, let's just touch our shoulder blades so you don't even have to worry about the weight of your arms. And we're going to go to the right because I just went to the left, and then we'll go back to the left. So nice big inhale and exhale. I want you to tuck the shoulder blade back. And now reach around, follow through with the core through the ribs, the obliques, and into the belly button. My arm is not doing anything. And I'm going to inhale and unwind. Now that was a big heat rush. You should be feeling the energy of the core of the activity of the core. Okay, let's go to the right or to the left. Soften the knees. Give me that engagement. Roll those shoulders back and open. Relax the neck, unclench the teeth. And inhale. All right, let's exhale. Tilt that shoulder blade. Give me that rock back. You can see it comes from the entire shoulder. And now I'm turning with the energy here. You can hear it in my breath. Inhale, unwind. It's very deliberate. And whoo, shake that out. That's a hot flash. All right. So we're going to talk about knees and hips. There are times in class where I will say, don't worry about your knees or hips. Like, don't anchor them forward. And so then that twist, soften the knees. Let's do it together. That twist takes the hips. So it starts in the shoulder. It'll take the hips and the knees. See, I'm going to go all the way around. And I'm feeling that all the way across the top of my pelvic, my ischial crests, which is the top of your hip bone. Let's do it the other way. I'm just going to engage, but I'm still leading with my shoulder blade back. And now I'm anchoring through, and I'm going to take it all the way around. That's almost all the way down to my ankles. So that's a kind of a, I don't know what the word about it is, but I'm taking it all the way down to my ankles. What I sometimes will say is when we want to keep the twist in the core is tilt your knees. I want you to anchor your hips and knees, but I almost tilt my knees in the opposite direction of my turn. So if you give me a soft bend in the knees, engage the core. Let's come on up into this process. Big inhale. Now I want you to imagine locking your hips and knees forward. And I don't like the word lock. I like to say anchor. Just concentrate on keeping your hips and knees square to the edge of the mat. And we're going to turn. This is a stronger work because I'm fighting to get deeper into the twist. You can hear it in my voice, but I'm trying to keep my hips. So my hips are going to tilt a little bit, but did you see my knees stayed anchored forward? Let's go to the right. Relax the neck. Got to give, because sometimes that tension goes right up into the space behind the ears. So anchor the knees forward. And slowly unwind. And release. So that is the twist, right? That's the power of the twist in the center of that work. When we are in something like Utkatasana, we often twist. So if you give me a little deeper, let's not quite go into a full chair pose, but tilt those hips back. My toes are loose and wiggly off the mat. And I'm going to sit into my Utkatasana. If I take my twist in Utkatasana, you see what happens? It starts almost with the left knee. Right? Like the inclination, if you're not paying attention, is just to sway. I can twist all the way around. Look at my booty is going to sweep all the way around. And I'm nowhere in my torso. Like I'm not feeling that anywhere in my torso. Right? Same thing on the right. If I'm not concentrating, I just sweep my booty back and around. That's not a torso twist. That's not a power move. That's kind of just, that's just slop. Could be a dance move, but not a yoga move. All right. So let's do this. We're going to sit into Utkatasana. Give me this engagement of the core. I'm going to touch my shoulders. Now I want you to anchor, right? Again, anchor the hips and knees as far forward as you can. What I do is actually even turn my knees the opposite direction to keep that hip anchored, and it's going to go right into my torso. So let's do that. Inhale, anchor those knees, exhale. Do you see? My knees are forward, my hips are forward. You can't see my booty. Inhale. Let's go to the other side. Engage that shoulder blade. Take the twist into the torso. and unwind. Roll those shoulders out. Come on up and wiggle. All right, so we're feeling all of that work through the obliques, the transverse abdominis, and the lats. All right, we're going to take some forward folding. What time is it? We're going to take some forward folding, and then we are going to work the twist on the mat, which is actually a stretch, right? So let's come on up, nice big reach. We're going to take some forward folding chair just to get out of that energy. Let the body hang. And you should be feeling low back. And feel that release in the low back. Tuck into the hips, roll up into the feet. Now, I don't know about you, but when we start doing a lot of those standing twists, you're going to feel the energy of the feet because you're kind of anchoring all the way down the leg, and that energy transfers into your tootsies. All right, I'm going to put my shirt back on because it is still chilly and I just had a hot flash. Now I'm cold. Goodness gracious, life is so complicated. All right, we're going to take our twists on the mat. But now, the thing about the twists on the mat is that they are stretch. It's a full stretch. So we've warmed up. We did a few twists in our stand. And now we are going to get some relief out of that energy. And if you are with me and you're going to come to Vinyasa yoga, guess where we're going? We're going to go into some twists. All right. So we are going to warm up, but we still warm up into our twists, even though we're going into stretch, okay? Twisting is a high energy activity, and it takes a lot of coordination through the core from shoulder to knee. And so like a full, a twisting practice should warm you up and take you out. And frankly, you shouldn't be doing a twist at the end of a practice if it wasn't a twisting practice. Sometimes I cheat on that a little bit just because that's a really wonderful stretch. But we're going to warm up first. So we're going to start with our double leg stretch, our double leg twist. And this is a torso twist. So get those shoulder blades flat. Relax the arms down a little bit in the soft elbow. And I'm floating my knees straight up over my hips. My feet are loose and relaxed. We're going to take a half twist. So this is actually going to be work, right? I'm going to engage and inhale at center. I'm keeping my knees pressed together. So I want you to really keep the knees pressed. And I'm going to go 45 degrees into the hip and then inhale up to center. I'm going to exhale 45 degrees into the hip, inhaling up to center. So keep the knees squeezed together. So this should feel like a little twist, a little stretch, and some core work because you're engaging the core to return the body to center. Let's do that one more time. Keeping those knees squeezed together all the way down to the heels. All right, that should feel like energy. So I'm going to twist to the right first because I want you to see what's happening on the left side of my body. Nice big inhale. I'm going to take my knees as far over to the mat, to the floor, as I can. Keep the knees pressed together. Keep the feet pressed together. Nice big inhale. Just take them. And now watch. I'm going to go up just a little bit and over. Now, maybe you're not all the way over to the ground. Take the bottom hand and drape it across the top of the knee. Now, to increase the length of this twist, I want that shoulder tilt that we did when we were standing. I want you to drop that shoulder blade a little closer to the mat. And then reach those fingers out. I am feeling that all the way through latissimus dorsi, obliques,
I'm feeling that in my QL, my glute med, through the glute max. That's where I'm feeling it, all the way down. So tilt that shoulder blade back. Now, I can look straight up, and that's fine. If you want to increase the twist, lift the head, and turn to look at your extended arm. And I say lift the head and turn because I want you to get that neck really straight and give it an actual stretch through the strap muscles. Oh man, my left side is tight. This week, this left side, I wonder if that's where I keep my stress. All right, let's slowly unwind. Ooh, I'm gonna have to go slow. Bring those knees up, give them a little squeeze, right? We wanna engage our forward fold, that's our neutral. Consider it your clutch. All right, we're gonna take some half twists first. So we wanna kind of shift our gear, come over to the half. Inhale, come over to the half. Inhale, come over to the half. Inhale, and come over to the half. Ooh, inhale. All right, we're going to twist. Now, I'm going to twist to the left. I don't know what direction you twisted the first round. Wiggle the toes, because I'm sure you're feeling some tension in there, those tootsies. All right, so I'm going to take an inhale at center, keeping those knees. So my knees and calves and feet are stuck together, and I'm going to lift the knees up a little higher and drop them as far toward the floor as I can. Bottom arm drapes over the top of that knee. And now I want you to feel the tilt of that opposite shoulder toward the mat. Again, if you want to twist, add the head twist. Lift the head and turn it. Ooh, I'm really tight in this direction too. And you're breathing as best you can. Now I'm feeling this one less in my glute and more up through the transverse abdominis over the top of my iliac crest. So you're just going to feel it. That's the different side of the body. Keeping those knees pressed together, even if you're floating a little off the floor. All right, let's bring it up. Knee squeeze. Woo! Little rock side to side. How are we feeling? So that's a full twist in terms of torso and stretch. I'm also feeling that in my neck. I got to do some tennis ball work, I think. Okay. Now we're going to add a different twist, and we're going to extend the leg. And we're just working through some twists, right? So I'm going to extend the left leg first. We're going to go over to the left. And what I'm going to do is just float this knee, my right knee up. So again, we're going to start with our repetitions. We're going to go half twists. So I'm going to open my arms, palms up, a little lower than my shoulders. And I'm going to inhale at center. And now I'm just going to drop over and just parallel that leg to the mat. Inhaling up. So we're just working into our twist. We're just working into that energy, working a little repetition, warming up the muscles in that direction. All right, so when we take our full twist in this position, I have a big booty, I have a giant quad, and I have no shortage of, hip tissue. That's a nice way of saying I'm curvy. All right. I have to, it's a little hitch, and I'm going to show you on this side because I think I know sometimes in class people are like, oh my God, how did you do that? So I'm going to move my left leg in toward the opposite corner just a little bit. And I have to lift my hip off the mat. So I have to take a little lift and rotate over my hip to get my knee into a little deeper twist. Now I'm going to take my hand and drape it over the top of my knee. Drop that shoulder blade, that opposite shoulder blade, give me that tiny tilt towards the spine. Now I'm feeling that in the in oblique insertion, up into the latissimus dorsi and in up here in the tissue, connective tissue, transverse abdominis obliques. All right, we're gonna unwind, and when I unwind, I'm wonky on the mat. So I just put my right foot and slide myself back to center, right? Just take a little pelvic tilt. We're gonna extend the right leg. Take those fingertips low. I'm just gonna float my knee up. And now we're gonna take our half twist repetitions. There we go. Exhaling, I'm just drawing over. Inhaling up. Exhaling. Inhaling up. All right, I'm going to take my full rotation. And that means I'm going to move my, I had to think about what I was doing because I do it so automatically all the time. I'm going to move my right leg over. And then I'm going to take a big tilt over. So I'm going to lift that hip and rotate. Do you see it? It's not as easy to see unless you're as it was on the first side. My bottom hand is going to drape over the top of my knee. And now I'm going to tilt this shoulder blade down. Oh, wow. I got to do some foam roller work. And again, you can increase that stretch or continue that stretch up through the neck by lifting the head and tilting to look out over that thumb. It's not just a head turn. I want, if you're going to take that neck twist, you want to keep the head in neutral position rather than kind of tilting that ear over. I want you to lift the head, turn it, pivot it actually around the neck, and then rest it toward the mat. I'm feeling this all the way up into my glute med and my piriformis. All right, let's unwind it. So now again, I'm wonky on the mat. I'm going to put my left foot down and slide over to center up. There you go. That's it. Those are the twists. We're going to, not all of them, but many of them. Give yourself a hug. Let's work some Apanasana. So I'm going to cut my fingertips over the top of my knees, wiggle the toes. Big inhale in center. Exhale, draw the knees up, little lift of the tailbone. Inhale. Draw the knees up. Inhale. And draw the knees up. Let's do that one more time, and then we're going to take some windshield wiper sweeps. All right. We want to work out some of that energy. So my upper glutes into the transverse abdominis and latissimus dorsi are on fire from all of that twisting. I'm just going to drop over to one side. I love these. Inhaling and switching. And inhaling and switching. And again. All right. Tuck in the tailbone, releasing on down. I'm going to take just an easy figure 4 to get into that glute. Left fingers coming up behind the left knee. Oh, yeah, there we go. Big stretch right up the glutes. And release. We're going to switch. Ooh, yeah, this left side. I'm gonna have to do some tennis ball work, I think. Oh. Even yoga teachers get tight. That's just the nature of the beast. Ooh. And release. Let's lengthen those legs out. Give them a stretch. Reach on up over the head. Whoo. And take the hands down to the hips. Bring the knees up. Give them a big power squeeze. Little rock side to side. All right. We are going to work right into Shavasana. So it is one of those chilly fall mornings. I'm going to put on a pair of socks because I'm actually chilly today. And my sweater. I want you to get comfortable body temperature wise, and then think about where you would like to take your final relaxation. So we did a lot of core work, and that's radiating kind of into the hips and glutes. So maybe keeping your feet up with your knees tented in will be more comfortable for you and take that kind of release off of the pelvic tilt. If you want to extend those legs and take full Shavasana with your arms at your sides, feel free. If you want to fold a blanket or roll a blanket and put it underneath the knees, hips, and low back or neck, get comfortable there. I'm going to come on up and take seated just because, first of all, I can feel my sinuses are starting. I'm going to have to take an allergy pill today. If it's not the smoke, it's the allergies. And I'm going to put on socks. Because my feet are cold. And then start working your way into the position that you are going to take for final relaxation. And soft, easy inhale, soft, silent exhale. Relax the breath into intuitive rhythm. Unclench the teeth. Let the tongue drop away from the roof of the mouth. Pulling that attention and awareness into the space of your forehead. Feel all those tiny little muscles and nerve endings smooth out. Smooth the eyebrows. Feel the eyes rest into the sockets of the skull. Feel the temples get soft and sink toward the floor. Continue that relaxation and release down through the cheeks. Again, check in with the jaw. Make sure that you're not clenching the teeth. Relax down both sides of the neck. Feel that relaxation through the strap muscles to the tops of the shoulders, over the shoulder caps, down through biceps and triceps, through the space of the elbows. Little wiggle of the fingers, roll the wrists, and now let the upper body completely relax toward the floor. Feel long and heavy from the tips of the shoulder blades, down both sides of the ribs, along the length of the spine. Maybe a little rock side to side with the hips, a little tilt up with the glutes, and then relax the torso into the mat. Relax the quads, hamstrings. Feel soft behind the knee. Little rock side to side with the calf. Wiggle the toes. And now let the lower body release its weight into the mat. Pulling that attention and awareness into the space and quality of your thinking. Let's slide those things off to the side that might be scratching at our attention. I'm going to hold our silence a little bit longer.
And now we're going to move that attention into the breath, and we're just following that intuitive rhythm without any control into and out of the lungs. We're going to draw some deeper breaths into the lungs. Nice big filling inhales, big sigh exhales. A little wiggle of the fingers, roll the wrists, wiggle the toes, roll the ankles. Just taking those arms out away from the center of the body, reach out into that T, and then slide those arms up over the head. Take that big yawning, getting out of bed, squeezing, stretch. Letting those arms drift back down toward the hips. We're going to bring a knee up and give it a squeeze. Bring the other knee up. Give it a squeeze. We're going to just rock and roll side to side. Take a little sweep. Roll through the hips and the low back. When you're ready, rocking completely over to one side, resting your head on your arm. And now let's work our way back up to seated position. I'm rocking side to side. I'm going to roll my shoulders back. Wee, wee, wee. Cupping those fingertips over the tops of the knees. Let the head drip over to one side. Take your body with it and hang against the length of that arm. Releasing the chin forward and sweeping to the other side. And releasing forward. All right. Let's take a scan of the body, checking in state and quality of the physical form on this end of the practice. No judgment, no ownership. We're just giving the body a chance to respond. Pulling the attention and awareness into the state and quality of our thinking. Let's check in. We can start moving some of those to-dos into the queue with a little bit of elbow room, no pushing, no shoving. And finally, just noticing the quality of that relaxed, intuitive breath. Wherever you are, let's just relax that out of, sorry, I'm in the groove. Releasing practice, blinking our eyes open. I'm going to take this big funnel stretch up the ceiling because I need it. Let's not forget, I started today with my shirt on inside out and backwards. Oh, guys, taking a moment to honor your body for doing what you asked to do today and all the hard work it does to get you from one end of the week to the other. And that includes emotionally, mentally, and physically. My name is Julia. If you have any questions, email me at yoga@jclynn.com. If you are a sustaining member or a loyalty member, please double check your spam because the newsletter went out. There was a blog post. Sorry, it was in a separate email. That was not my intention. And you guys got a secret cover reveal. You did it. Yay! Do you like it? It's so awesome. Okay. And nobody's going to get that. No one else is going to get that for another couple weeks. So you guys are in on the ground floor. The fucking yoga book. Yoga for the rest of us. All of the benefits, none of the bullshit. www.theffinyogablog.com. Keep an eye out for some pre-order information. We're trying to put together some swag packages. There's going to be some giveaways. Yeah. Anyway, I hope that you have a good weekend. And I have to start some heavy duty packing because we got enough around the house. Woo! So, knock on wood, throw the salt over the shoulder, run around the house naked, turn and spin in circles 3 times, whatever. Here we go. Jumping off the cliff. Hey, my name is Julia. This is the fucking yoga company. Thank you for your gracious patience and support of my online brand. I appreciate it. Truly. I truly do. Be safe, wear a mask, wash your hands. And vote.